Howdy, everyone, and welcome to the Texoma Cattleman. Historic profits in the cow-calf business are making headlines nationwide. We're going to break down the latest numbers from a recent Drover's article of the 2025 CattleFax Cow-Calf Survey, including the record high calf prices that we've been seeing, rising input costs in terms of the annual cow cost, and what all of that means for cattle producers moving forward. That's all coming up today and more here on the Texoma Cattleman. Well, good morning, folks. My name's Cody Maxwell, Fannin County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. And as always, we appreciate you spending your time of the day with us here on the Texoma Cattleman as we talk about all things as it pertains to the beef cattle industry and also forage management. Today's program is going to focus heavily on the economics of the cattle business and some remarkable numbers that have came out here recently in a Drover's article that was reported on the CattleFax survey of cow-calf producers, in which it interviewed about 300, or the interview made up about 300,000 cattle across the United States, totaling 40 states. According to the report, there have been record calf revenues that have taken place that are driving one of the strongest cow-calf markets that we have ever seen in the history of the cattle industry. Now, while producers are very excited about calf prices, obviously, there's still challenges that they're being faced with, including the rising input cost. Fertilizer prices are not at an all-time high, but they're at the second all-time high that they've ever been at. The all-time high fertilizer prices were at about $1,000 a ton. Right now, we're running roughly at about $850 a ton on a blended fertilizer. Now, these challenges create some issues moving forward, obviously, with the rising cost of the inputs. But not only that, if you're looking to buy into the cattle market, buy into cattle, these replacement female prices are absolutely insane. But it stands true with the liquidation that took place over the last few years, which have taken us to historic lows in the cattle inventory, lowest numbers that we've seen since the 1950s. Not only all of that, when you look across the nation on the drought monitor, there are drought concerns with areas that are some of our larger cattle producing states. So let's get into it. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to break it down into three segments. Our first segment today is sponsored by Frontier Properties Real Estate out of Bonham, Texas, located at 2201 North Center Street, Bonham, Texas. You can call them at 903-583-8721. Stuart Hall, the broker, heads up a great staff of real estate agents. They've added a few here recently. Many of them are well-versed in agriculture, operating on agriculture land, so they know the property that you need to be successful in the agriculture industry. They're licensed in Texas and Oklahoma. They can go back and forth across the river. And if you're looking for that new dream home that you've been dreaming of all your life, they'll make sure to put you in it. That is Frontier Properties in Bonham, Texas. You can find all their listings that they have available, or if you would like to list with them, at frontierpropertiesrealestate.com. Let's start things today with the annual cow cost in 2025. Now, this is one thing that some people pay attention to. Some people could care less what their annual cow cost is. It's something that you need to be tracking. Now, there are some that are going to have lower annual cow costs, while others are going to have higher. It really is just in all what you put on charging that cow to be on your ranch, to be your employee throughout the year. Obviously, one of the larger components of that is going to be feed and hay. That's going to comprise quite a bit of that annual cow cost. You've also got veterinary expenses, breeding expenses, your labor that goes into everything. And so that's what we've got to charge the cow to be around. She doesn't get to stay there for free. She doesn't have free rent. She's got to pay her way along the way. So from this report, again, in this report, it totaled 300,000 cows that were represented across 40 states in the United States is what answered this survey by CattleFax that was reported in an article by Drovers Magazine. The annual cow cost across the nation for 2025 was $780. Some of you may look at that and be like, my goodness, that is absolutely crazy. It doesn't cost me near that much to keep my cows around. Well, if you would have figured what your hay cost you last year, your feed, inputs, your breeding cost per cow, it doesn't take long to get up there to $780 a head. That cost actually increased year over year from 2024 to 2025 by $27 and is actually a new record in the annual cow cost per year in the CattleFax database. But you got the higher calf prices. The revenue that you're getting from those calves, which offsets that thing. The average revenue per calf in 2025, reported in this report, was $2,246 per calf. That is up $631 from 2024. That is a huge increase whenever you look at things. Now, let's look at some other numbers that come out in this report. You've got the calf value that was at $2,246. You've got the cow cost that was at $780. The weaned calf crop, so that is calves that hit the ground and make it to weaning, was 87.9%. Now, that was actually a small improvement year over year from 2024 to 2025. So when you make that adjustment on your annual cow cost by percent calves weaned, that actually brings that annual cow cost per cow up to $897 at an 87.9% weaned calf crop across these cow herds that reported to this survey. So when you adjust that profit based on percentage of weaned calves, the profit per calf by the ranchers that reported this was $1,361 per calf. It's pretty incredible. That's the highest profits that we have ever seen in the cattle industry. Let's talk about weaning weights a little bit. This is something that individual producers probably pay attention to, but it's something that we obviously need to look at nationwide across these 40 states that reported to this. The steer average weaning weight was 563 pounds. Now, that was actually up 7 pounds year over year from 2024 to 2025. Heifers saw the same increase, exactly the same at 7 pounds increase from year over year, 2024 to 2025, being at 528 pounds on the heifer. Now, when you go pounds weaned per exposed female, and so that's when you factor back in this percentage of weaned calves in the United States was 87.9%. That means that the pounds weaned per exposed female was 478 pounds. Now, this might surprise you, this next number that I'm going to give you, of the cow herd size of those that reported to this report. It's a pretty lengthy report. I've filled one out. The actual cow herd size per ranch represented from the 40 states, 300,000 cows, was 391 cows per ranch. The bull purchase price, 2025, of these that reported was $7,542. Again, a lot of you still get hung up on that bull price. You think, my goodness, I am not going to pay what these bulls are going for these days. I'll tell you, I follow a lot of the bull sale averages across the United States. The lowest production sale averages that you're going to see is about $8,000. You get up on the higher end, and they're anywhere from about $15,000 to $18,000. And so you look at that on your range. If you were to average that out, you're going to be somewhere around $12,000 on production sales for the bulls. Now, when we look at these numbers, average calf value, $2,246, the revenue per calf. The saying is, and it stands true today, that the price that you can pay for a bull is the price of 5 weaned calves. Well, just simple math, drop that down to $2,000 a calf. That's $10,000 is what you can get for a bull. So the average bull price 2025 actually come in lower, $2,500 lower than what it actually should be based on what these calves are bringing. Let's move to another segment, introduce another sponsor for the show, Texas Farm Credit out of Bonham, Texas. You can call them at 903-583-3217. When it comes to loans and lendings, they're some of the best in the business, folks. They're agriculturalists themselves. Jalen Wallace, the branch manager, is a fifth-generation agriculturalist located right in Fannin County. Now, when it comes to reaching outside of Fannin County, they've all got trucks. They can travel. And so if you've got questions, if you need lending options, visit Texas Farm Credit. When it comes to risk management, from the insurance side of things, livestock risk protection, they've got it all in there too as well. It's Texas Farm Credit, 903-583-3217. Let's talk about expansion for a little bit. 2025 moving into 2026. They broke this survey down of producers that increased by more than 10% in terms of expansion, and then those that increased their herd by less than 10%. They broke it down on the other end as well, reduced herd by more than 10% or less than 10%. I'm going to group these together for sake of time today, but of those that increased herd size that reported to this, 51% of the producers that reported to this survey actually increased in herd size. 38% had no change. They kept their cow numbers right where they were at, and 11% actually reduced herd size. So that tells us one thing. Maybe we've reached a stall out in terms of liquidation, and we might be moving back into a time in which we can get these herds back to some stability within them, which is not a bad thing. But don't freak out when we say that right there, because the economists, the experts feel like this market is going to stay strong at least for the next few years. We got to remind ourselves that heifers have not been pulled out of the market yet. They're still going. We're still seeing slaughter rates on heifers being the same as they have been month over month. I want to talk about the entire sector historically seeing strong margins. High return operations actually separated themselves through vaccination protocols, weaning programs, and superior calf crop percentages, quoting straight from this Drover's article. Let's talk a little bit about the value and the difference of calves weaned versus calves that were not weaned. Now, when you look at calves that were shipped off of a cow, based on this research that was done, calves that were weaned 30 days or less and calves that were weaned 31 to 45 days, there was no significant difference between those three groups of calves in terms of the price that they actually brought. Your calves that were shipped off the cow averaged $2,153. Your calves that were weaned up to 45 days were not much more than that, $2,197. But here's the difference. When you get into them calves that were weaned over 45 days, $2,327, a difference of $174 versus those calves that were shipped off the cow. And so those that are focusing more on these wean calf programs with industry standards, such as the 60-day weaning protocol, these vaccination programs, improving your bull crop, not going for that cheaper bull, but a bull that can provide you some superior genetics, bulls that can increase those weaning weights, that's where you're going to see some differences. Here's another thing that they saw on calving season length. We've talked a lot about that here recently on the Texoma Cattleman. Shorter calving intervals, those that have a 45-day calving window, they saw a 71-pound average difference higher than those that had up to a 90-day calving interval. The difference was 555 pounds versus 484 pounds. And so you see quite a bit of difference on that. So when we look at the annual average cow cost, I said it was $780 across the United States. When you break it down to the regions across the United States, When you come down into the Texas and Oklahoma region where a lot of our listeners are from, that was $771 a cow. So a difference of $9 lower. Let's move into the last short segment here on the program. Today, we're going to look at this market outlook. And this is going to be a direct quote from the Drover's article, a direct quote from Patrick Linnell, who is the Director of Market Research with CattleFax. This segment of our show is brought to you by Cowpuncher Coffee. Spur the day with Cowpuncher Coffee. Located out of East Texas, you can find all their blends they've got available at cowpunchercoffee.com, folks. The best way to do it. Order that sampler pack. It comes with 15 blends in there. Then you're going to have to order it again to find out your favorites. Narrow it down to 3 or 4, and then get those 3 or 4 blends. I promise you, you're not going to be able to find a favorite because they are all good. That is Cowpuncher Coffee, folks. They know what we need to get through these long days as we move into summertime, where the days lengthen and we work a lot harder in the cattle business. Cowpuncher Coffee, cowpunchercoffee.com. Go give them a visit. Here's what they say whenever they look at will tight calf supplies maintain producer leverage. This is a direct quote from the article, direct quote from Patrick Linnell. Ultimately, the current market environment has supported the average cow-calf producer in making record profits over the past few years, with strong likelihood that this sector will continue to maintain favorable leverage over the next couple of years as domestic calf supplies remain tight. Folks, we look at the average age of the producer, 60, 61 years old. The price to buy into this industry. Bred heifers across the United States last month were nearly $4,700 on the average. You've seen the reports. You've seen bred heifers that are bringing $6,000 or better. You're seeing bred cows, $4,500, $5,000. It is expensive to buy into this business right now, and folks are leery of that. You've got the drought-plagued areas. Folks are leery about drought. We've got confidence. The climatologists have confidence in El Nino and it being a strong El Nino. So obviously we would expect to have grass, but people are still cautious of the rebuild, which means with the domestic tight supplies, that's here on the home front, low cattle inventory, it bodes well for good revenues for the next few years for sure. Hope you've enjoyed the show today. I'm Cody Maxwell, Fannin County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. You have been listening to the Texoma Cattleman, where faith fuels me, family keeps me, cattle feeds me, and community makes us strong. Hope you have a great week.